I say this calls for action, and now, nip it in the bud.
Michelle Pfeiffer? The only true Catwoman is Julie Newmar, Lee Merriweather, or Eartha Kitt. And I didn't need molded plastic to improve my physique. Pure West.
Good morning, angels.
Good morning, Charlie.
I love it when a plan comes together.
It's time. Let's talk about music, movies, and mostly television from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. You know, the good stuff. Good evening to one and all. Welcome to the Good Stuff Live. My name is Dave Sundstrom, and if you enjoy talking about music, movies, and, come on, let's be honest, mostly television from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, well, then you've come to the right place. So tonight, I am super excited because, well, I just love my Wednesday night live stream. So I'm always excited, but I'm even more excited than normal because I've got a super great group of guests with me this evening, and we're going to talk about a wonderful television program. So let me go ahead and bring them on board. I have got Robert Thrash Pondo Pons. Welcome to the live stream.
Welcome, gang. Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you awesome. Oh, the sound and also the video quality. Fingers crossed, my friend, but I'm hoping for good things tonight. We've also got Pat McCormick, the golden rage of television.
Hi, gang.
Great to have you here, Pat.
Thanks, buddy. I missed you last week.
Also from Retro Serial, good to have you here. And we'll talk about your videos in just a moment. But also a fun surprise. We have got a new member of the live stream with us this evening, Amy Asbury from the Glitter Boom Girls. So great to have you here, Amy.
So glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh,
hey, Amy.
It's a treat, a pleasure to have you with us. So I do love to just kind of quickly point out videos that I've been watching of each of yours. And if we can do that really quick before we get into welcoming the community members that have been chatting for like 45 minutes now. It's crazy. But Amy, talk to me a little bit about, this isn't your most recent podcast.
I think so, yes.
It's not. There's one more after this one.
Is there?
I haven't listened to it yet, but I absolutely freaking loved this podcast. You want to talk a little bit about it?
You know, so the podcast is nostalgia, just everything from TV shows to toys you hurt yourself on or almost killed yourself on. That's this episode that you're looking at right here. To, you know, deep dives on Gilligan's Island. It's kind of all across the board, but it's nostalgia. Forgotten foods that have since been banned because there's like nuclear, fission going on. And, just basically everything that we went through back in the day. And, all the fun that went with it.
Yeah. And you know what? My sister had one of those Easy Bake ovens, and I do not know how in the world she did not burn down the house with that thing. But we somehow survived.
Oh, that sounded like my Easy Bake oven.
My cake is done.
Yes.
And the big wheel. Don't forget the big wheel that made road rash and roadkill out of our small young bodies as we flipped off of it into the street.
I was never lucky enough to have a big wheel. I really wanted one.
I had a cheap Kmart version, I think.
Yeah.
Poor Dave.
Okay, I'm not going to go to Ian next. I normally would go that direction, I think, but I'm going to save you for last, and hopefully you can work out so your audio bugs. He's going away and coming back, hopefully. Pat, just in time for Halloween, my friend.
That's right. My Munsters compilation. Well, that's one of three that I've actually put together for my favorite holiday. So here they come. And I also wore my Addams Family shirt.
Nice.
Might like. What do you think? What do you think? Huh? Yeah.
Love it.
So I'm in the spirit.
Yeah, I love it when channels start kind of like tailoring their content towards the holidays. And so loved seeing that. And I think I've seen all of those videos before, but just having them nicely put together in a package, that's just awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
Robert, I don't really even know how to describe your last video.
Whoa.
Turkeys can fly.
Do you remember that one? That was your Thanksgiving video.
I sure do. This is actually a compilation video. This was my Columbus Day, Halloween, Thanksgiving video. Oh, and by the way, I apologize. I seem to be on a bit of a lag video-wise, so just bear with me. I'll try to speak in slow motion. But yeah, I went onto the deck to have a cup of coffee, and lo and behold, a rafter, a group of turkeys is known as a rafter. A rafter of turkeys were sort of just laying up camp in my backyard. Meanwhile, in the spirit of Halloween, there was some clown running amok with a chainsaw. And if you listen really closely, you can hear the in the background too.
It was
like, oh, take my word for it. That was what the Hello Jason was in aid of at the time. But yeah, you could hear a guy, and of course the neighbor's dog was barking, either at the turkeys or at the guy with the chainsaw or another dog. But there was a lot going on for my morning coffee that day. Yeah. So I figure I've got to post this because you know what? Delightful. This is a quiet morning in my neighborhood.
Loved it.
Thank you.
All right. Hey, Amy, we've got your partner in crime,
Robbie
Ann here as well.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you just great. You sound
wonderful.
wonderful.
You hear me?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I had some internet issues here. I hope I don't suddenly disappear.
Here's the deal. We all have issues here. Some of them are internet issues. Some of them are other issues. But you'll see folks like Ian just pop in, pop out.
Hi, Ian.
Hey.
My friend Thrash Pondo occasionally is
Thrash Pondo. Oh, we go way back.
Yeah. But this is the new improved Thrash Pondo 3.0 tonight. We've got new camera, new microphone.
Wow.
All good things tonight.
Sweet.
I went and I bought a brand new cell phone, pretty nice one too, and a Bluetooth headset to go with it. I'm still messing with the settings. That's probably why I have a video lag, but at least you can hear me and see me properly. Do you remember the video I did last time where I'm literally talking into my headset because the microphone's busted and I'm getting a better reception from my earpiece?
Yeah, and then you froze, so it was like just this picture.
Constantly.
Yeah.
The fun thing was, though, when those images would freeze, it's like, what kind of image would you get? Would you get angry Thrash, happy Thrash, or somewhere in between?
I feel like it was kind of it was. I feel like it was sort of a like a blank Thrash. You know.
Yeah.
Well, that's my normal expression.
So I have to ask, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you much better, Ian.
Okay, so I don't know. I'm picking up the slack that Thrash left because now my computers aren't working. So that's what happened the other night on the game show, and it's happening again. I fixed it, but so we'll see.
Yeah, I had trouble too, Ian. I mean, maybe it's that Mercury retrograde thing. I don't know.
Maybe.
Hi, Aim. I haven't talked to Amy today yet.
Oh,
I can't hear you, Amy.
Problems. Now we can't hear Amy.
So I texted Robbie 3
times.
You did? You texted me?
Look at your phone.
Oh, okay.
Man, is Robbie Ann one of those not so great text friends with that you have to remind them?
No, she's good, but sometimes
I tell the truth, Aim.
Yeah.
Okay, she's not that. No, sometimes she has her days where she's just not having a good day.
Well, like most people, I have a day job, right? And if I'm working and stuff, I don't always look at my phone. If there's or on the weekends, right? You put it to, I don't know.
Right. No, it's good.
That's boring.
My brother, I'll text him and he won't respond, and he'll just say, if you really want to talk to me, give me a damn phone call. In a really grumpy voice. Those of you that know Steve, he gets really angry at me and just tells me to call him. So I get it.
Look at this. Okay, I'll be on in 5. Right. But see, Aim, I was busy going, isn't this working? And I was trying to get my stuff, so I wasn't looking at my phone.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
All right, we've already talked about the Glitter Boom Girls in your podcast, Robbie Ann. So, we're going to go to Ian here. This is like one of your favorite shows, right, dude? I mean, you did the whole Mr. Belvedere, taught you about AIDS, and now it's 5 things you didn't know about Mr. Belvedere. I know it's not your absolute favorite show,
Right?
But
right.
it's a favorite show, correct?
It's up there. It competes with Growing Pains for a close second to Family Ties. As far as 80s sitcom shows are concerned. Yeah, I liked it. I think they mixed it up. I thought Growing Pains was a little too cut and paste Family Ties, but I liked it. It stands on its own. But I think Mr. Belvedere was a little more shake it up and let's introduce some new stuff. So I thought I would go ahead and do a 5 things you didn't know about Mr. Belvedere. And I might just continue on down the line. I might do like a 5 things you didn't know about the Golden Girls, or a 5 things you didn't know about Day by Day, which is a sitcom that a lot of people have forgotten about.
I remember that show.
I remember
Day by
that
Day.
show.
The guy
Who
that
was in
was
Day by Day?
Yeah, the guy that was in the Brady Bunch movie was in that, right?
Yeah, and he actually played. There was a show where they did a Brady Bunch episode in Day by Day. It's one of their more popular episodes. It's one of the only ones you can find. So he played Greg Brady before he was Greg Brady in the Brady Bunch movie.
I remember that episode. Yeah, because it was
episode.
it was kind of a big deal because they sort of really recreated it, right? Like they really got into it.
Yeah, they had almost the entire cast except for Barry, whatever his name is, on that show. Yeah, Barry Williams, that's right. On Step by Step. But it was it was pretty fun. That was a pretty fun show. So I'm gonna go on down the line, just 5 things you didn't know about,
That's
whatever,
awesome.
on down the line.
It's awesome. Well, that was a fun video. You did a great job with it. And I'd encourage everybody that's hanging out with us to check out all of these videos. I'll just do a little shameless self-promotion for my latest video on Jacqueline Smith and the role that she forever regretted turning down. I don't want to talk about, I don't want to give it away. I know Pat's watched it, but it's a doozy of a role. Or a movie, I should say, that she was offered, and much like Kate Jackson, who had to turn down Kramer versus Kramer because spelling wouldn't work around her filming schedule on Charlie's Angels. Jacqueline had to also turn down this role for the very same reason. So check those out. Hey, let's quickly welcome the community members. I know we've got a lot of folks out there. Let me go ahead and go over to the comments section. Holy cow. Let me just scroll up. Christopher Kraft. Oh, Pat. Already asking for the Lawrence Well. Can you believe that? Well, I think we're pretty safe. I've got a lot of videos that would play long before the Lawrence Welk tonight. So
unless they request it.
The Josh Sings is here. Welcome, Josh. Always good to have you here. Kimberly Wiederhold, welcome. Superfan Spike Spikerson. Don't even know what Roberts means, but welcome. Good to have you here. Dolph Quick, good to have you. Tracy Rothmeyer's always a treat.
Hi,
and
Tracy.
Tracy, thanks for sending me that link. That was fun to look at. Pegtooth is here. Superfan Lance Chafin. I hope you are doing well, my friend. Superfan Elfdog 100. He had a big will, Amy. Tracy Rothmeyers. Oh, I've already welcomed Tracy, but I'll welcome you again. My friend Tom, a.k.a. The Hungry Jerk, welcome. Good to have you here. Superfan as well. Scarlet Red Magic, welcome. Superfan Superplex. Superfan Emily Miller. Cindy D. Kenneth Wilkinson's been here since the very beginning. I noticed that it was like half hour before this thing started, and he and Lance were chatting away there. Terrell Bellinger, good to have you here. Cindy D, welcome. Michael Cole, welcome. Oh, Raja 1938. I am so glad that you remembered the live stream this evening. It's always wonderful to have you part of the community and part of these live streams. Scrolling through, let me see. And you know what? I apologize if I miss anyone. I so apologize. Jerry Gillespie says, welcome, Jerry, that the Monsters Go Home movie will be on Cozy October 30th. Well, Dave Sundstrom will be recording that on my TiVo so that I can watch that one again. Haven't seen that one in quite a while. Starland say welcome. James Rice, welcome. More talk about Big Wheels. I didn't have a Big Wheel. I didn't even have that crap knockoff Big Wheel that Kmart was selling, Amy. I always
Dave,
felt
you were
jealous.
deprived, honey. You
I
were
was super deprived.
I
But
had a green machine.
I did have a
Ooh,
regular
that was-
bike, and I had my playing card with the clothespin. Did you guys all do that? Put the playing card with the clothespin to make the bike
Oh, yeah.
sound super awesome.
yeah.
Oh yeah. I got to skip forward because we've got a super chat from superfan John Collins. He says, "Hey everyone," and Dave. Okay, formalities out of the way. Amy, your book, Sunset Strips Diaries, is amazing. Dave, please read my first comment. Thanks.
Thank you, John.
I lost your first comment, John, but Amy, John, you've got a fan.
John, I'm so honored. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, John was on the chat that I did with Ian, and John, you have at some point a signed Sunset Strip Diaries copy from Amy. coming to you.
Absolutely. Leave your address wherever I should send it.
Oh,
I
yeah,
will
I
send
got
one
it.
to you. You
Yeah,
have
I
it?
got
I
it.
will send
Yep.
one to you, John. I appreciate you.
That's awesome. That is awesome. John Collins he's such an active, a wonderful member of this community. I'm glad to see that he's made the transition and hits Ian's live streams as well. And, I've heard good things about your books, and obviously I need to head on over to Amazon and add them to my queue. John Collins, I found it. Okay, so here it is. His other comment is, "Hi, Dave, sir, master of ceremonies. I have a playful bone to pick with you." As long as it's playful, John, as long as it's playful. Trying to have the wonderful community in a poll. Oh, yes. So I did. And this is a good time. So first off, let's do this. And I know I haven't welcomed everybody. Jill Carter, superfan Jill Carter, welcome. Dolph Quick, welcome. I'll get back to, as I see people, I'll welcome them. But tonight, of course, we're going to talk about the Golden Girls, right? So earlier today, last night I posted a question in my community section, and it asked a very simple question, a question that John is having a problem with, that I said, who is your favorite Golden Girl? So I have the results. So we've had 1,400 people respond to the poll. Wow. So it's definitive. It's definitive. And it isn't the outcome that I'd like. I'll share my favorite in just a moment. But I'd love to go around the horn and hear which Golden Girl is your favorite. And I'll work clockwise, starting with that handsome feller to my, as I'm looking at the screen, right. Trash Pondo, TP, favorite Golden Girl.
Gotta go with Estelle Getty.
So
she was just a riot.
Yeah, she was a hoot. And I hadn't realized, I don't know, it's been years and years since I'd watched the first episode. So I watched that earlier this week. They said that she had a stroke, and that's why she said all those things. She had like whatever filters are in place to, keep her from saying certain things. The stroke did away with them, and that's why she just says it like it is. And yeah, she's a wonderful character. Was she actually the oldest actress on the show?
No, she was. A year younger than B. Arthur.
Yes,
a year younger.
Yes, she was.
Yeah, that's funny.
And she played B. Arthur's mom.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, correct. Yep. Pat, my friend.
Yes, sir.
Favorite Golden Girl. Is this a mean thing to ask? Is it too hard? Is John right?
No, it's like a Sophie's choice.
Yeah,
you're kind of pushing it.
It's really hard.
I love that.
Here's the deal. You can change your mind tomorrow. That's what I always say about these things. It's who's your favorite tonight? Yeah, who's your favorite tonight?
Well, my favorite has always been Rue McClanahan. And I don't know if it was because she got fed all the great one-liners, because we all know that show is full of the best one-liners ever. But it just seemed to me that she always had the one. I think back to that game show clip where the guy wants her to end the sentence. What was it? Late?
Match Game?
What was it?
Wait, was it Match Game?
No.
Yeah.
Or was
it?
Late is better than and you feel until the end she got hit and pregnant. Late is better than pregnant. Obviously not the answer. Late better than never is what they were expecting.
That was the Gene Rayburn one you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Where he was like,
and
late yeah, okay.
She just had the best delivery. I mean, Betty White, unmatchable, but Rue was my favorite for sure.
Yeah. Hey, and Pat, I don't know if you heard that. We're getting a ton. Everybody else hear that? We're getting a ton of feedback from your.
Yes, I'm afraid.
I do. It's a little distortion there. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if you.
Of course, I can't judge.
I think we're all getting these fun little glitchy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's very voodoo tonight. Yeah.
Yeah. It comes and goes. Let's see.
Yeah.
Say something.
Hi, my name is Pat.
It's still there. Still there.
Typical.
Okay.
We'll mess around.
Okay, mess around, and we'll move over to Amy. And who's your favorite Golden Girl tonight?
I'm gonna say, B. Arthur is Dorothy. I'm gonna say good old Dorothy, Brooklynite. Kind of cranky.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say the reason I really love. I couldn't choose, just like the rest of you, but I feel like she was they were all flawed. But I love that she was kind of cranky and flawed. And I love that she was the den mother of the group. And, she had these face expressions where she'd kind of sit at that center seat at that little 3-chair table when they're eating that cheesecake. And there'd be like a nice zoom in of her expression. She was kind of they called her the great leveler, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm going to say Dorothy. Yeah.
Robbie Ann, how about you?
Well, I got to go with Pat. I love Rue McClanahan, and I thought that she had not that they all weren't superstars, but I thought she just had the best comedic timing, and you can kind of see it in like even when she doesn't have the line, right? There were just things that she would do or reactions that she had. And there were so many scenes where, somebody would do something and you would just see her face, she'd be like, or whatever her expression was. And you knew maybe the next line coming out was going to be some kind of double entendre. I don't know, whatever, how she was always like hot to trot, as they say.
Yeah.
But,
and wasn't she the landlord, Rob? Isn't she the one that
it was her place? It was
her
place.
That was place. Right. That was her house. And you know what, Dave, can I just call out one of the commenters? Is that okay?
Sure. Absolutely.
Because so Terrell Bellinger, I'm saying the name right. So they said, does anyone remember the Growing Pains spinoff, Just the 10 of Us, which aired for 3 seasons on the original, right?
Okay, I do.
I remember.
I remember it.
I lived next door to the guy who played the dad when I lived in North Hollywood.
He was a riot.
That's cool,
right? Yeah, he was kind of a big guy, and he lived over there with his kids and family. And my little patio in my apartment overlooked his yard. So, and I just have these images. He was always out there with a cigar, talking on the phone, like to his agent or somebody.
Coach Lubbock. I think their last name was Lubbock.
Coach Lubbock. It was Lubbock.
Right. And he was like the gym teacher, like Mike Seaver's gym teacher or something.
Right. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to sidebar.
That's okay. We can digress because I've got to say I love that show because the great Frank Bonner from WKRP, Herb Tarlick was on that show as the priest, right?
Yes.
The father.
My favorite show of all time. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
It's a good one. Okay, did you tell us you said who did you say?
Oh, I said Rue.
Rue. Okay.
All right.
Ian?
I have to go with Rue too, but
wow.
But Betty White's character is a close second. I kind of like that absent-minded. You really see that full bloom in the character Joey on Friends.
Yeah,
the person that doesn't quite get it, kind of thing. I find that very hilarious. But Blanche was kind of the little playful, should we say? And I liked and those one-line zingers. But the mother of the show too, forgetting the
Sophia
name.
Estelle Getty.
She was funny too. I mean,
she's a hoot.
Yeah, she was a hoot.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
It's a three-way tie with
Ian. I need you to be more decisive, and I'm going with your first answer. first answer was Rue McClanahan. And the reason I'm going with your first answer, because you waffled and threw out a couple others too, and they're all great, to the point of John, that it's a really unfair question to ask. But I want to go with Amy. I'm on Team Amy tonight in terms of my choice. B. Arthur. I might change it tomorrow again, but B. Arthur. I watched like a handful of episodes in preparing. Just to, it'd been a while since I'd watched the Golden Girls, and I just really loved her character, more so than Maude too. By the way, I liked Maude, but that wasn't my show. I'm probably just the wrong age for it when it was originally on TV. And then I was the wrong age for Golden Girls when it was really originally on TV. But as I've watched it over the past couple of decades in reruns, and then just watched it again the last few days, holy cow, I love that character. I love B. Arthur's character on the show and what she's gone through. And there's a lot of pathos along with the humor there in her life. And so I'm going with B. Now, here's the reason why I think this is interesting. None of us said Betty White, Rose.
Wow.
And this is what our community says, is that Rose is at least today, the favorite. 42%. Ooh. It wasn't even close. Next was Sophia, Estelle Getty's character, 26, followed by B, 17%. And then Rue. This is the one I could not believe. I thought for sure that Blanche would end up higher on the poll, but she came in last place, at least this time. Really weird.
What's interesting, though, is I could argue pretty convincingly for any one of those four, right? Yeah. Like if you assigned me to argue on behalf of Betty White, I could argue that too. That show, I think it lasted so long, yes, because of the writing and all that, but those four women were so incredibly talented and really amazing actors. And
True.
Right. And even when the show got sort of serious, like when Rue McClanahan's daughter showed up with the crummy guy that she was going to marry, and he was abusive. Even when the show got serious, like they were really great actresses in drama and comedy. So yeah. I just love watching it. It's like watching an incredible tennis match, right? Watching some of those scenes.
Yeah. Well, I think the best television shows, and I think going all the way back to some of the shows that I love, like the Andy Griffith Show and MASH, these are shows that every character is strong. Every character you can point to and say, and even if we think more modern, to one of your favorite shows, Family Ties, Ian, or Seinfeld. These are great ensemble casts in the Golden Girls, probably one of the greatest ever on television. Those four ladies, just phenomenal actresses. I can't remember if this is a trivia question. I'll just say it anyway. All four of them won Emmys for their work on that show. That doesn't usually happen, where every single actor on a show wins an Emmy award.
But of course, they had to have the material, and that says something for the writers. It does.
Absolutely. All right, I'm going to say hello to a few more people before we launch into some commercial messages here in a moment. Flor Morena is here. Welcome. Good to have you with us. Again, if I miss someone, my apologies. John H., welcome. Dominic D., welcome. Cindy D., always a treat to have you with us as well. My friend Justin, a.k.a. Braidwood End, welcome. I wish you could join us live tonight, but hopefully on another evening you'll be able to do that. Always great to have you in the community. Super fan, Justin Aylett, I should say. Let's see who else we have here. I think I've said hello to James Rice, but I'll say hello again. Cynthia Abbott, welcome. Faith Castillo, welcome. Super fan James Mitchell, welcome. Terrell Bellinger, welcome. I didn't say hello to you. Cynthia Abbott, welcome. Carl Smith, welcome. Better late than never, my friend. Better late than never. EJ and E. Tabon. I don't even know how to say that last name, but welcome. Good to have you here. And let's see. Just scrolling through. We've got another super chat from John Collins. I'm going to have to throw I hate to do this to you this early in the live stream, John, but I might have to tell you that that's enough on the super chats for the evening. TJ921 Abel, welcome. Let's see. I'll get to it in just a minute, John. I'm just scrolling through. Raja 1938. I probably said hello to you already. But I'll say hello again. There we go. John Collins, we're now to the super chat. Says, does everyone agree with me that Dorothy should have married Stan, taking nothing away from Leslie Nielsen? She had more story and investment with Stan. What do you think?
Seems like it. Yeah, absolutely.
I can see that. Yeah.
I don't even remember.
I don't know. I gotta respectfully disagree.
Didn't he leave her for a flight attendant or something?
Yeah. And
Stan left her for Chrissy or
The
someone
flight
like
attendant?
that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Stan and Chrissy then had a problem, broke up.
Mhm.
Stan claimed he was, back in love with Dorothy and all that, but like the way that he left her, and I just feel like he scorched that earth, I don't know if Leslie Nielsen was a good choice either, though. I mean, maybe this is revealing too much about me, but does Dorothy need to marry anyone? Maybe she could be happy, right? Just being independent, hanging out with her friends, eating cheesecake in the kitchen, right?
Love it. Yep. I like that. I think, I agree with you, John, that maybe Leslie wasn't any better of an option than Stan, but I with you, Robbie Ann, in that why does she have to marry either? I didn't like Stan. I mean, he's a likable character in a pathetic wearing a toupee kind of way. Come on, just wear, if you don't have it, there's nothing to hide there. But Stan was the guy that played in Big John, Little John. Someone mentions that. It wasn't Chrissy Snow, was it? Couldn't have been Chrissy Snow. It was just another Chrissy.
No, it was just another Chrissy. And you know what? That episode where Dorothy and Stan had to stay in the slum house, the apartment building, where clearly I watched the show a lot more than you.
You do remember more than I do, Robbie. Yeah. Holy cow.
I'll remember this and that. Yeah, that was one episode. I loved that episode because Dorothy stuck to her guns, and there was a whole slumlord story, and the judge said, okay, you know what? You two have to learn your lesson, and you have to stay overnight in the building. And that was the one where Rose was like a reporter at the TV show, and so she was actually hurting Dorothy by putting the story on the air. But Dorothy came to the realization, she's like, you know what? I don't need you. And she kind of walked down on him. So it was that for everyone who's wondering what I'm talking about with Stan, go find the episode. You know what? While we're talking, I'll pull up.
Okay. You'll track it down for us.
Yeah.
Love to watch that one again. Sounds like a good one. I owe John for his super chat. So I owe him. So let me find a couple of ways to say thanks to John. I know John loves the Dukes of Hazzard one, so we can throw that one out there.
I like Lawrence Welk.
And we're holding
You're
up
bluffing.
on Lawrence Welk, Pat. The Lawrence Welk, we may not see Mr. Welk or his singers rear their wonderful heads.
I have to say, I've been totally wrong about that all this time. I went back and looked and realized Welk isn't even actually in the clip. And the girls that are singing are gorgeous. And I'm thinking,
yes, they are.
What am I thinking? What's wrong with me? Of course, it's the song, but there's other things to torture me with now.
A song of appreciation. I still don't get it, but we may not see it. That's the thing. We may not see it. Let's do a little Dukes of Hazzard. Let's do a little Dukes of Hazzard. Then we'll do a little Ginger Grant, maybe. One of my favorite Gilligan's Island episodes, by the way, where Marianne so wants to be Ginger, but she just can't pull off that song the way that Ginger could.
And Ginger wants to be Betty Boop.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, I don't remember that episode
Me
where
either.
Marianne wants to be Ginger.
You don't?
No.
Yeah, she hits her head, and then when she wakes up, she comes out of, she thinks she's Ginger. And then Ginger has to dress up as Marianne while they're working through this. And then she puts on a big show and she sings the song, I Want to Be Loved by You.
I do
And
remember Ginger
She
singing
can't
that.
do it. And that causes a breakdown. And then she returns to being her wonderful pie making self. But yeah.
And she hems all of Ginger's dresses to fit her, so now they're all mini dresses.
Sounds like every boy's fantasy.
Ginger.
Exactly. It's just that theme, the same theme. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was
You're fine.
I was going to just say we actually just recorded an episode, Aim and I, where we talk about Gilligan's Island, and I can't believe that one didn't come up.
Well, there's so many episodes.
Yes,
Right?
so many good episodes.
But how did I not know one? Like there were only 3 seasons, right? How did I miss one? You know what? I'm gonna
You were
have
sick
to.
that day. You had a cold.
I'm giving myself a timeout.
Did you guys discuss the whole the unfair cancellation of the show in your podcast?
You know what? We didn't get into a whole lot of history stuff. We did some behind the scenes. We talked about all the gadgets,
Okay, that the professor invented.
Right,
Yes.
right. And I had a friend of mine, Karen. Shout out Karen. She's out there somewhere. We've known each other since we were 4 years old, and Karen and I used to watch it like literally way back in the day. So, and she's like the world's authority on Gilligan's Island. She's gonna spank me for not knowing that episode.
Oh, that's funny. Well, I can't wait to hear that podcast. When's it coming out?
That one should be out in November.
That far away,
late
yeah.
November, maybe.
And we just did a Laverne and Shirley too. That was the last one we did. That was a funny one.
Yeah.
Little deep dives.
Yeah.
Another great cast. Oh,
I
especially
can't wait to
Marie and
listen.
Squiggy.
I can't wait to listen to you guys. This is
Yeah.
awesome.
Thanks, Pat.
Yeah, awesome stuff. So I've
It's good. It's one of my favorite podcasts ever. I love it.
Thanks,
Hey,
Jen.
playtime or slate time.
I'm on.
Get those charts out of your chest. I got a chart.
Yeah, you guys. He's talking about our playtime or slate time. We just did one about deadly toys from our the Gen X people. We're tough, right? We survived the playground. Oh, there it is.
Lawn darts.
Wow, Dave, you are on it.
Yeah, I was one.
It's like professional. Like I feel out of our.
I loved the podcast. We were talking earlier. My sister had one of those little easy bake ovens, and danger.
How many burns on
Yeah.
the top of her hand?
She had that, and I don't know if you remember. ViewMasters, right?
Oh yeah.
I had the ViewMaster projector.
Yes.
And it used a normal light bulb with a grill up top, and that thing got so hot. I mean, I didn't have any burns from the Easy Bake Oven, but I did have numerous burns from my ViewMaster projector.
Right.
But then you learn, and you move on, just like with a jart, right? You
And
learn.
what about that slip and slide that you never got traction on, and your body just skipped across and skid across the grass like mine?
Oh yeah, they don't
That hurt.
They don't work as advertised. That never
Never
happens the right way. Yeah.
Well,
what
that's a good.
What
topic.
about the? I left a comment on your YouTube page about the water wiggle. Did anybody get that?
Oh yeah,
that was cool.
Where you get the water wiggle and it
water
beats
wiggle
you.
wasn't dangerous, was it?
It would hit you. Yeah, it would.
Yeah,
I would just use my hose.
Like a whip,
Yeah, it would get up and start going like this, and you could get, dry put out.
We never had one. Probably
tried
for
to-
that very reason.
I tried to turn on my hose at full blast with the little nozzle, so it just started whipping around, and then you couldn't get a hold of it, and it would just slam you in the head because it was too scary. You're like, oh no, how do I
Here's
stop
your
this thing?
DIY water wiggle.
Mhm.
Hey, a couple of quick comments from the community. What up, Gigi? Welcome. Good to have you here. Said that speaking about Stan and Dorothy, they almost did
Stan.
remarry, but Stan wanted to sign a prenup. Figures. That's
Figures.
so totally Stan.
What up, Gigi? You are
Yeah.
right. What does that tell you about Stan?
Yeah, totally
Says it all.
Stan. Superfan Emily Miller says that the guy who played Stan, I think it was Herb Edelman, right? I think.
Mhm.
Great
Yes.
actor, but hated his character. Yeah, totally
Yeah.
great actor. Seen him in a lot of different things. Terrell Bellinger points out, and I noticed this the other day when I rewatched the pilot episode myself. The ladies have a housekeeper named Coco,
Yes.
who did not last.
Do you know why? Do you know why?
Yes, I know why. Also, say it, Rob.
No, you say it.
Girl, no.
Girl. Well, I'll start. You finish. So, it had nothing to do with the actor. So they started out with this, in the pilot, they had this gay housekeeper, and they would go in the kitchen and he'd be in there cooking and stuff like that, and they would interact with him. But what the producers found out and realized about these 4 women and the show was, all right, take it away.
Oh, that they very often were around that table. So
Right.
having that extra character in there was kind of throwing off that balance because that's where their plot kind of started and ended. And it had nothing against the actor or the character, but that was the reason they took out Coco.
Yeah.
Aesthetics.
Mhm.
Oh man.
Well, it was like a dynamics thing, right? Because if they
Right.
had Coco, they would have no reason to go in the kitchen really and sit around and eat cheesecake and all that stuff. So they thought, you know what? We need to put these 4 women in the kitchen more, and we need to get them. What did he say? Robbie is really into Gigi. Now, what kind of a comment is that, Soper Xplex?
I think it's very astute, very observative.
Well, I just thought that's what we were doing here tonight, right?
That's
Was
absolutely what
celebrating
we're
the Golden
I am
Girl.
so glad that we got an expert on, because I think all of us, at least I can say I'm more of a casual fan than an expert. So I'm glad that we have someone that really adored the show, which is clearly the case with you, right, Robbie?
Yeah, but you know what? I'm into everything. Like,
Yeah.
if you want to talk about WKRP in Cincinnati, I'll talk about that all day. I love that show too. I mean, there's 8
Yeah, so
million.
good.
That's why we started doing
But
a
what
podcast.
what about new WKRP? Have you talked about that in your podcast yet?
We haven't, and we haven't done the KRP episode, which has got to be coming. I don't know. I felt like the new WKRP, like most reboots, at first I was really glad, like, oh my gosh, my favorite show. But it didn't work, right? Because it wasn't the exact same cast. You had different writers and you had a different situation. And the beauty of that show, God, that show was funny. I mean,
Yeah.
that
One
show
of the best. One
was
of the best.
funny. Yeah.
Again, to the point that you made earlier, I think, Robbie Ann, it succeeded because of the cast, that ensemble cast, and the new WKRP. While many of the actors returned, some of them in recurring roles, other just 1 or 2 episodes,
Right.
just didn't have the same magic because you didn't have all of the same people together.
Right. And that's what, you can't really bring in a character once in a while as a guest appearance or whatever from the old show, because it just makes you realize, oh yeah, doesn't work the same, but I mean, like Les Nessman, iconic sitcom character, absolutely iconic, and so damn funny, like just incredible lines. And as the series went on, and I think this is true of the Golden Girls too, the writers start to mesh a little bit with the actors and what the actors are putting into the character, and the character gets more three-dimensional, right? And like at KRP, somebody mentioned the Gotta Dance, the one, I love that episode. Right, with Johnny Fever. Hey everybody, what was his name? Riptide or something like that. Yeah. And anyway, yeah, I could go on.
Yes.
By the way,
Another day.
that last video of mine, speaking of WKRP,
Yeah.
my last video is called Turkeys Away after WKRP.
Oh, his God is my
Great
witness. I
episode.
believe turkeys could fly.
Based on a true experience.
Yes, it
It
was.
wasn't exactly the same, but it was definitely influenced by. I'm trying to think of the guy that created that show now. He also did the Police Academy series.
Right. Oh my God, his name just flew out of my head.
I know. I hate that when that happens.
Wilson.
Hugh Wilson.
Yeah.
Hugh Wilson. He worked in radio, and he was aware of an incident where they didn't drop him from a helicopter. They threw him out of the back of a truck, and they knew that they were dead, right? These were frozen turkeys, but still, it was the inspiration for just a tremendous episode. I have to watch that every Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
The Pine View shopping mall has just been bombed by live turkeys. So great.
The horror.
Oh, the humanity.
Yeah, the humanity. That's what he says. The humanity.
It was like they mounted a counterattack. It was almost as if they were organized.
Too funny. But we're not doing the Golden Girls, the service we need to. We're talking.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Let's get back to
sidebar.
Yes. Oh, but John Collins wants to know, Robbie Ann, can you be neighbors?
Oh,
we're all
sure,
virtual
John.
neighbors, right?
Yep.
We're all virtual. This is the great thing about the world we live in now. We're all separated. Who knows where we are? All are.
Right? It doesn't even matter.
It doesn't matter.
Right?
It doesn't matter because we can hang out on a Wednesday night and talk about all sorts of good stuff. Superfan Lance Chafin just wanted to say hi to Ann and Amy, or Robbie Ann and Amy.
Hey, Lance. So can I ask you a question, Dave?
Yeah.
What is the qualification or the certification process for becoming a super fan?
Superfan is channel membership. So it's the channel membership option you have on YouTube. So these folks that are super fans, what they get for their measly $1.99 a month is they get my undying love and appreciation. But if that isn't enough, if that isn't all, I prioritize their responses. Not only, when we do live streams, obviously, but if I see comments, I'll make sure if, like I have a video right now, that Jacqueline Smith video has 700 comments. I can't get to them all. I try to get to the first couple of hours, everybody's.
Right.
But after that, I kind of have to pick and choose. And the first place I'm going to go are my super fans. I'm going to make sure I respond to their comments.
Gotcha.
They also get, they saw the Jacqueline Smith video a day before it was released to the general public. So there's little perks. They get awesome emojis. As a matter of fact, Michael Cole, thank you for asking, because it might have been just what Michael Cole needed to jump on board and become a super fan. So thank you for joining, Michael. Thank you for becoming a super fan of the channel. But that's it. Mostly just my undying love and appreciation more than anything else.
Well, that's worth $1.99 a month.
Yeah.
And an opportunity to torture me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. So speaking of torturing Pat, let's find a couple of things we can do. We got to get a thank you for Lance, and then a thank you to Michael for joining. So Lance, we're gonna do a little Grimly for you. Ian, could you do it? Thank you for your support in your Ed Grimley voice, please.
I'll try. It gets better as I go along. Thank you very much. No, I messed it up. Let's have him do it.
I must say.
I must say. This is like the best interview ever, I must say.
All right. And for Michael Cole, here's a little something for you.
I'm too rusty at it. I used to do it perfectly when I was younger, but it's not so good.
It's rude of me to ask you to do it on the fly.
I got to warm up. Warm up, do a few before I come on the show. But I got my Ed Grimley here to do it.
Doesn't it have?
I must say,
doesn't it have
the best interview ever? Thank you very much. I must say.
Can't you pull the string on that? Doesn't it?
But it's broken. It goes too.
Oh yeah, that doesn't sound like Ed at all.
Oh
yeah. Unfortunately.
That's pretty broken. Yeah, that's.
Here we
cow
go, Michael.
goes.
Here's a little something for you, Michael.
Someone is trying to embarrass me.
Some electric company.
True believers.
The
Right?
best live action Spider-Man ever, right there, Robbie.
Love
Ann.
Spider-Man, where are you coming from, Spider-Man?
Nobody
knows who
knows
you are.
Yeah, great song. There's actually on YouTube. Here's the thing that's amazing about YouTube. Everything's on it, by the way. Everything. There is a long version of that song, Robbie.
Get
A
out.
long extended version with multiple verses. Just incredible. Like, who knew? Because
I wonder if it was the
only
Short
plays for 10
Circus. Who?
Yeah. Anyway. All right, let me see. Let's get over here. We've got
Another one.
Bunch.
Getting
Yeah,
closer
we
to
gotta
Lawrence
jump in here.
Welk.
Yep, getting a little closer to Lawrence. So James Rice throwing a super sticker our way. Thank you, James. Let me give you this one. Let's go with
Charlie.
the great Jim Neighbors.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And Tracy Roth Myers.
Thank you, Tracy.
Yes, thank you, James.
Love you, Tracy.
And
Love
thank
you,
you,
Tracy.
Tracy.
I remember Tracy.
Oh, Tracy.
Yeah, Tracy's
Tracy.
awesome. She likes the
Tracy.
Steve
Tracy.
Martin one. So let's do a little Steve Martin.
And now, it's time for a little dancing. Here we go. Okay, they come and now,
Whoa.
Almost got a double shot of Steve there. Thank you all for your support. Truly appreciated. Again, Michael Cole, thank you for joining and being a super fan. And Robbie N, thanks for asking about that. Let me
Tracy
do this.
just became part of the Cornflake Club.
Oh,
So
that's
Thank
awesome.
you. Yeah.
That's
really,
awesome.
really super appreciate it.
Let's do this.
Han Solo says thank you. Pew, pew.
I've got some bills I've got to pay. We're 52 minutes in, so let's do my commercial sponsors this year, or this time are from the year 1987. So anybody that needs to take a quick break, these commercials last for a whopping, I think, 1:45. And then we'll come back and we'll play a little Golden Girls trivia if everybody's up. I have a sneaking hunch I know who's going to win, but we'll see. We shall see. All right, let me find those commercials. Here we go. Let's pay the sponsors.
Super Slurpee. Now at 7-Eleven. It's the biggest, boldest, coldest Slurpee to ever quench a thirst. It's the 32-ounce Super Slurpee. And now 7-Eleven has a fantastic summer offer. Every Super Slurpee comes in a free plastic Superman 4, The Quest for Peace Movie Collector's Cup. 8 in all. 32 ounces of Super Slurpee and Superman 4 Movie Collector's Cups only at today's 7-Eleven.
Saturday on the Golden Girls, it's laughter in the first degree.
Arrested for prostitution. I can't believe it.
Then on Amen,
Trader,
Deacon Fry earns a special treat.
Eggs Benedict Arnold.
And on Hunter, will a reporter's vendetta cost Hunter his badge or a whole lot more?
Saturday.
Hi. I just moved in next door. Could I borrow a Diet Pepsi?
Sure. Come in. Yes. How about something else?
Listen, if you don't have a Diet Pepsi...
I got it. Chasing down a tree. Turning up my engine. It's your scream. I'm on the edge. Tonight.
You okay in there?
Here's your Diet Pepsi.
That must be my roommate, Danny.
Danny?
Hi, I'm Danielle. You got another Diet Pepsi?
Sure.
Diet Pepsi, the choice of a new generation.
Anybody notice the cameo on that last commercial? Pat, did you,
Yeah.
you know who I'm talking about?
I do. Robbie the Robot.
Yes! Yes! Robbie the Robot. I
Yeah,
never
that was
noticed
cool.
it when it initially aired. I guess my mind just wasn't on that kind of thing. But as I've watched that commercial, I just
Where
love that
wait,
Robbie's
where was Robbie the Robot?
is on the shelf.
He was a toy.
He's a little
Oh,
toy.
wow.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
a little.
I didn't see him.
Yep, he's there, but it's brief. It's quick. Fun stuff. All right. So let me go ahead and bring on the trivia.
Oh.
Yes. How much do you know about the Golden Girls? Hopefully, all our trivia players have made it by now. Some folks typically just kind of join us a little later so they can play trivia. So hopefully, you're all here. I know I expect good things out of you, Terrell, and any other Golden Girls fans. I'm expecting good things tonight. Some of the questions are hard. Some of them are, I think, just based on the conversation, as I've seen our conversation plus the conversation in the chat. I think some of them have already been answered there. So if you're paying attention, you'll have a few that are just kind of gimmies. But let's go ahead and go right into question number one. And the way we play Robbie, Ann, and Amy is we don't say anything yet. We let everybody kind of just lock it in their heads, what answer they're thinking. And some of them will throw things out in the chat. Some of them are right. Some of them are wrong. We try not to look at the chat so that we can kind of play along and answer. And then I just ask community members. I mean, we can do it a couple of different ways. I can just kind of work down as I look at myself. I'll just kind of work down, and we'll like Thrash. Bob will go first, but he can phone a friend if he doesn't know. So I know which friend I'm phoning when it comes to if I don't know the question.
I pass it Robbie all the way.
That's right. Because we're shooting to get 10 out of 10 here as well. But that's how we'll do it. And then we check scores about every 3 questions or so. Superplex, Superfan Superplex, I predict that you'll get at least one right. At least one right.
Gotta shoot the moon.
Yeah, but who knows? Let's think positive. Here we go. Question number 1.
Yeah, I'm nervous now. All right.
Don't be nervous.
Pressure's on.
Who sang the song "Thank You for Being a Friend" on the show's opening credits? Was it Andrew Gold, B. Arthur? She did have quite a voice. I don't know if you guys have seen the Star Wars Holiday Special, but a great voice. Cynthia Fee or Fee Waybill?
Fee Waybill.
You know I've got to find a way to shout out to the tubes.
No doubt.
The tubes.
That's right.
She's a beauty.
That was one of their great songs, but definitely, that's radio friendly. But was it "Thank You for Being a Friend" or was it one of these other 3 fine choices here? We'll let folks we'll give them another 5 seconds. And Bob, you're first up. Again, remember, if you need to phone a friend, feel free to phone a friend.
This one I got. So let me know. Should I go now?
You can go whenever you're ready.
Andrew Gold, A.
So sad. So sad. We're now shooting for 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. The correct answer is Cynthia Fee. It was
on the show.
On the show. Yes, you're correct, Bob. And this was a bit of a trick question because it was a hit long before the Golden Girls. It was a hit by Andrew Gold. Yes. But sung on the show by Cynthia Fee.
Darn my hubris.
Darn your hubris.
Close
9
to no
out of
cigar.
10. Okay, still good. So we still can have a very respectable score. Let's keep moving. Question number 2. What other TV show had Rue McClanahan and Betty White appeared in together? And by the way, well, there's only one on this list, but they've actually appeared in a number of things together. So, Pat, you're going to be up, but let's give folks a chance to, they're still reporting out their scores, but we'll let's have them answer. Is it Amen, Blossom, Empty Nest, or Mama's Family? We'll just think about that for a minute.
Okay.
So the one that they weren't on, I don't know if you guys know this, and this is a topic. I certainly hope, Robbie Ann and Amy, that you take the time to dedicate at least one podcast, if not multiple podcasts, to the Love Boat. The two of them were together on the Love Boat.
Oh, we did one. Yeah,
You
that's
have
already
done
up.
one already. Okay, well, I need to
Yeah.
go back and find that one.
Yeah.
Because that was my Saturday nights as a kid. And I was at the Love Boat. I was not quite a teen, but I was in the double digits when that show was on, right? And so, I'm sure there were better things I could have done, more exciting things, but for young nerd Dave Sundstrom, it was Love Boat and Fantasy Island all the way. I mean, I would look forward to that. Friday nights was Hulk and Wonder Woman and Dukes of Hazzard, and not Dallas. I never could get into Dallas at that age, but then Saturdays was always Love Boat and Fantasy Island.
Yeah, same here. I actually, Fantasy Island, by the way, is on Tubi. If you download Tubi.
Love Tubi.
Yeah, Tubi. I don't even need other TV, right? So
Yeah.
I actually in the last few weeks, things get stressful or whatever. I actually watch Fantasy Island before I fall asleep.
Oh, nice.
Like I kind of leave it on. There's something about that, the show and the sounds and the music and all that. It reminds me of being a little kid, so I fell asleep. Yeah, that was a big. Everybody ate crow on that show. Like the fantasies always taught him a lesson.
Have you watched any of the reboot?
No.
The Fox reboot with the Mr. Rourke's niece.
No.
Yeah, it's not great.
No,
I mean, I wanted to like it.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, watching it now through the lens of current times, I do have some problems with the portrayal of Tattoo, and Hervé Villechaize was a great actor, but every once in a while I'm like, oh yeah, no, that wouldn't fly today.
Yeah, definitely a different time.
Yeah, a little unfortunate
for sure. And you just have to kind of look at it through that lens, right? It was a different time, and
yeah. What are you laughing at, Ian?
Laughing at.
Superplex, by the way, asked.
It was a different time. They did treat him a little differently.
Well,
It's appropriate to treat him today.
Yeah, it was just.
And Tattoo now as a woman, the island is kind of put a tattoo on. That's the way it's explained now. So, and she is not vertically challenged. So, there you go. There you go.
She probably doesn't carry a gun on the set, so
no, probably not. Probably not. Oh, that Hervé. So, Superplex asked, was Mr. Rourke Satan? And we know the answer to that. We know the answer to that.
No.
It's no, because Roddy McDowell came on the show and was Satan.
Wow, I forgot about that episode.
Yeah.
I gotta watch that one.
Love
soon.
that one. I also love the one with Annette Funicello in it. Remember where she's like a ventriloquist?
Yes.
Ooh, that was creepy. There were some creepy episodes of Fantasy Island.
Yeah, there were a lot of creepy. There was definitely a creepy element, and they usually had 2 stories in the beginning. They had 3, but then they went down to 2, and one of the stories was always like really, that was like Mr. Rourke going, well, but at the end they're going to learn that it's like a whole be careful what you wish for kind of
thing. That was the theme. Always be careful what you wish for, and important life lessons were always learned. Important life lessons were learned. Yes.
Hey, so for the record, I have the answer to this about 4 minutes ago.
Okay. Oh yeah, it is your turn, isn't it, Pat? Let's go.
A question. That's right.
That's right. We're playing trivia, aren't we? Oh, and this isn't the Fantasy Island.
I thought everybody was like, better let Pat take his time because it's Pat.
The correct answer is Pat.
Mama's Family.
Yes, indeed. Ding, ding, ding. Nice job. We are 1 of 2 now. Let's keep moving. After the third question, we'll see how folks are doing in the community. Which first lady did Rue McClanahan model Blanche's voice after? Was it Barbara Bush, Jackie Kennedy, Pat Nixon, or Rosalind Carter?
Wow, so she had a southern voice.
Yeah, I
Jackie
gave you
Kennedy
a
was the
tougher. I gave you a
wasp.
tough ones, but I think you're going the right route, which is process of elimination. Here.
Okay, so she was very Blanche Dubois and very
Yep. By the
southern
way,
and very
wasn't
Scarlett O'Hara.
that character wasn't written as a Southern kind of
Oh,
belle.
is that right?
That was all her doing. She in modeling kind of the
Really?
voice and all that kind of stuff. She created that character.
Okay, it wasn't Barbara Bush.
Are you sure?
She wasn't from this. Oh, she's from Texas.
Yeah.
Ooh, Kennedy was from the East. She was like Charm School and like Miss Porter's. So it could be
Yeah.
her.
Mhm.
Pat Nixon, where was she from?
I just threw that one in there.
Okay, I'm going to say Barbara Bush. I'm just going to go with Barbara Bush because she's
And now
from
I might have
Texas.
been playing with you when I said, "Are you sure?"
Well, think though. I mean, Barbara
Rosalind
Bush was
Carter.
only the vice
Okay,
president.
You know what I'm going to do?
What are
I'm
you
going to
gonna
say
do?
Jackie Kennedy.
You're gonna say
Final answer.
Jackie Kennedy. Okay. All right. No desire to phone a friend. Let's just go with it. It feels good. Let's see.
Feels
And
good.
I can tell you right now, the crowd in the community, they are stumped on this one. I'm seeing Trump. That's not going to work. Come on. Why must we? People, come on. Rosalind
Really?
Carter's the
Rosalind
correct
Carter.
answer.
Okay.
Yep, Rosalind.
On the Peanut Farms.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
From
All
Georgia.
right. That was a tougher
Oh, from
question. It
Georgia.
was maybe the toughest question of the night. I don't know. Maybe there's another one that
Oh.
there's another
Georgia
one.
is on my mind.
Yeah.
And
So,
I'm in good shape.
but then Robbie's up next. So let's look at scores
Uh-oh.
real quick, though. John Ogren, welcome to the live stream. I see that you are 2 of 3. Superplex, Superfan. Superplex is 3 of 3. Be ready. Welcome to the live streams. 3 of 3. Let's see. Superfan Michael Cole. New Superfan Michael Cole. 3 of 3. Lamont Bradford. 3 of 3. Kenneth Wilkinson. 1 of 3. TJ 921 Abel. 2 of 3. Superfan Emily Miller. Oh, I missed you. There you are. 3 of 3. Danny Staten's in the house. Hey, Danny. Here's what I always try to find Danny's latest video. Danny has some great videos over on his Daily Dan's blog, and he has reviewed, much like Pat, he's thinking all about the Munsters. He's got a awesome comic book review of a Munsters comic book. So much fun. Danny he's a hoot as he goes through the comic books and all his commentary as he reads along. Love those videos. Let's see some other scores real quick. Superfan Jill Carter's 2 of 3. Superfan Spike Spikerson's 2.5. Got a half point in there somehow. Superfan Nancy D is 1 of 3. Faith Castillo's 2 of 3. Daryl Johnston's 2 of 3. Cindy D's 3 for 3. Lance Chafin, Superfan Lance Chafin's 2 of 3. Superfan Emily Miller's 3 of 3. And Superfan John Collins is 3 of 3. Let's keep moving, or we'll be here all night. Pastor Man must have arrived a little bit late because he's 2 of 2, and Kimberly Weeder holds 3 of 3. But we'll keep moving here. Let's see what we got for Robbie Ann. Here we go. What was the name of the short-lived successor to the Golden Girls? Was it Golden Days? Or Our Golden Years, The Golden Life, or The Golden Palace? So give it a second, Robbie, and let's give folks a minute to kind of lock in their answer in their heads, and then we'll go ahead and let you
I'm
share
gonna
the answer.
turn off my comments here. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are hard. These are, just so you know, Dave, these are like hard questions.
They are, some of them are harder than others. I thought this one, maybe just because I remember this one really well. I remember B. Arthur didn't want to do it. She really wanted to get Golden Girls to run 5 seasons. She was done after the 5th season, felt like stories had been told. But they convinced her, as so often is the case, she was convinced to stick around for a couple more seasons. But she was pretty adamant that season number 7 was going to be her final season. And so they retold it. And there was a bidding war for the show between two networks, NBC and CBS won. And B did make a couple of guest appearances during the year, if I remember right. But the show was not successful. B was right. The show was done, particularly in its retooled format. Are you ready, Robbie Ann?
I'm ready. And I'm pretty sure, because I'm going off of memory here, I'm pretty sure it was the Golden Palace.
You are absolutely correct. Nicely done. This is one of those. They did this with Sanford and Sons too, because Sanford and Son became the Sanford Arms. It was the Golden Palace was a hotel that the ladies ran, and I don't know. I just so often is the case when they retool these shows. They don't work. They work as originally conceived, and it's tough to bring audiences or keep audiences when there are significant changes to the story.
Right. I think there's a lot to be said for that X factor that happens when you have a cast that has chemistry. Because you have to remember too, behind the scenes, people have chemistry too, right? Writers' rooms, they work in a certain way and they have a chemistry with the actors, and then you have a crew that operates a certain, so I think when you have a show that's as big as that show was, and the thing that tells you the writing was so good is that it's still funny. Like it's funny now, and it's 35 odd years later, right? So
yeah,
I agree. I just don't think that it works when you try to start it up again.
I'm supposed to tell you, Robbie Ann, and Amy that superfan Lance Chafin has just subbed to your channel. So
what?
There you go.
Oh, thank you, Lance.
Thank you,
Welcome.
Lance.
Yeah, and by the way, I did look up that whole Spider-Man theme song.
Yeah.
And on our YouTube channel, we have a playlist called Podcast Topic Extras, and they're like we put stuff in there because we're always bringing up well, as you can see, we're the queens of sidebar, so we bring up other stuff. So I put the video of the full length Electric Company Spider-Man song in our Podcast Extras playlist.
Awesome music. I'll have to go check out what else you have there. What other fun surprises are in your playlist?
Oh yes, yeah. You like watching your commercials that you have. It's a lot of that kind of stuff.
Very cool. Yeah, Cindy D points out that in the Golden Palace, Don Cheadle was in the Golden Palace. He was one of the additional cast members that were brought in.
I forgot about that. I forgot that. Yeah, and okay, so look at that. What that series. So George Clooney was a guest on it. Who was the oh gosh,
Mario Lopez was on there.
Yes, thank you, Mario Lopez. I was trying to think of somebody else. And then you know when you look at that Golden Palace and stuff, and a lot of really great actors passed through there, which again tells you behind the scenes, they had a casting director who was wise to good talent, right?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, keep moving. We got to get through these questions. We're only not even halfway done here. Ian, this is a tough one, so feel free to phone a friend. What punctuation mark is on the Golden Girls front door? Is it a comma, an exclamation point, a period, or a question mark?
Is on the Golden Girls front door.
And
is it after a sentence?
Ian, I'm saying nothing more. I know hints, but this I think this might be the toughest question of the bunch.
So a period would be just a dot on the door. How would you even know it's a period unless it's after?
Maybe you can process of elimination some of these things.
A comma would be
maybe
really weird because just a comma without a sentence could be a contraction mark. A question mark, so it's down to between a question mark and exclamation point.
Okay. I like the way your head's working. I like the thinking here.
but I don't know. It could be either one. A question mark's kind of, I don't know, like who's behind the door or something, it could be. But
So
an exclamation point would be like, this is the door. I don't know.
So here's the
Unless,
deal. Here's my confession. I don't
yes.
remember. I don't remember this. But Justin Aylett,
Right.
Braidwood Inn, sent me this question.
Well,
So he must know, and I
so
trust
I don't
that he knows
look,
correct. But
this
hopefully Robbie Ann or Amy or anyone else that maybe remembers this better than I do knows a little bit around this. But if not, we'll just go with what Justin says is the correct answer. I'm seeing a lot of answers in the in the community, but Ian, I think we've stalled long enough.
well, I still am going down. I think. I mean, it really all depends on if this is a sentence or just a.
I believe it is a
mark.
single.
Just
punctuation mark.
All right. Well, I'm not gonna cheat, even if I'm wrong.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm glad you're not going to cheat.
I'm going to go. Well,
I
not
appreciate your
friend.
honesty. Oh, you're not going to phone a friend. Why wouldn't you? I would be totally phoning a friend on this one.
Well, I want to say question mark, and I'll collaborate with Robbie and just before I give my final answer. Am I right or wrong, Robbie? Or do you remember?
I think you're wrong.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you. I think it's an exclamation point then. Thank you.
Nicely done. Nicely. Do you, Robbie Ann, or anyone that really knows anything, or Amy, do you know? I don't even remember anything about the door. Were there stories around that exclamation point, or why that was there, or anything like that?
No, I always. Oh, sorry, Aim. Go ahead.
I think it was the number on their door was number 1. And then there was this, like, their peephole was like under it, so it looked like an exclamation point, I think.
Exactly. Yeah, I was just gonna say, I think it was like the design on the door that looked like it wasn't like a.
It wasn't an actual exclamation point. I think.
That's what it looked like to me.
That makes a ton of sense. Okay,
Right.
and that makes a ton of sense why I never would have noticed that, but. All right. Well, we get the points there because Ian, you did phone a friend and answer correctly. So I think what are we? 3 of 5 or 4 of 5? Did we? I know we.
6 of 5.
No, we're 3 of 5. We're 3 of 5.
3 of 5.
3 of 5. All right. Let's do one more and then I'll check scores in the community. Back to you, Bob. On what Hawaiian island did Dorothy's ex-husband Stan live during the first season of the show? With his wife, his new wife, Chrissy, by the way. Not Chrissy Snow. We'll wait a second. No need to answer right away. Let's give folks a second or two to kind of lock in their answers in their heads before we move forward. Are you thinking of phoning a friend, Bob, or are you going to answer?
Yeah, I'm thinking of using a cheat code. Permission?
Okay.
Permission, all right.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, that's right. Bob was telling me that this is like his daughter's absolute favorite show.
Oh.
So he may be getting just a little bit of an assist.
Well, he tried to do that. I will confess, when in doubt, cheat. I learned that during the war. I won't say which war, but unfortunately, she remembered Hawaii, but not which particular island.
Yeah.
But I'm going to roll the dice. I have a cousin who lives in Hawaii too. I'm not going to bother him with this one. He's probably asleep. It's 9 hours difference, I believe, from where I am. But I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to guess, an educated guess. My guess is Maui.
Nicely done. Nicely done. Maui is the correct answer.
Wowie.
Yes. So let's check scores real quick before we move forward. Let me just go here and then I'll start looking at scores here. Lots of folks got Maui correctly. I saw a few Oahu's out there, but Superfan Zoperplex is 5 of 6. James Mitchell, 6 of 6. John Ogren's 5 of 6. Let's see who else we got here. Kenneth Wilkinson's 2 of 6. Be ready, he's 4 of 6. Terrell is rocking it tonight. He knows the Golden Girls very well. 6 of 6. TJ 21 Abel, 4 of 6. John Stemmer, welcome to the live stream. 6 of 6. John H, 5 of 6. Marcus Smith, welcome. 2 of 6. Carl Smith, 4 of 6. Faith Castillo, 5 of 6. Superfan Elf Dog 100. 5 of 6. Damn it, Emily. I expected more of you tonight, but 5 of 6 is still a respectable score.
Awesome.
Cindy D's rocking 6 for 6. I'm supposed to tell you from Lance to be on the stream when they can because you're awesome. That's what he's telling you. I would never pretend to tell any of my guests anything, but they know that they're always welcome. They can show up whenever they want.
Well, I love that. Can I just say I'm having so much fun. Like this is all kind of new to me, this live YouTube stuff and I just think it's the neatest thing and I'm so excited to be here. So thank you to you, Dave, and to everybody and to Ian too for he started this. He's the one that started this whole monster. That
absolutely.
I second all of those.
Right?
I second all of it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'd like to buy the world a Coke.
You rock, Ian.
You know what? I will say one thing though. It's kind of hard, and Amy and I are such like talkers and butter inners and like, oh my God, yeah, I know. So I am being so restrained right now. Like this whole show, I'm trying so hard to not like sidebar and take over everything just because I'm like that little kid going, oh yeah. So just so you know, Dave, that's how much I respect your show, and I'm just trying desperately.
Well, you know what? I'm never against a good sidebar, so don't let me stop you. Yeah, lots of great feedback. John Collins saying this needs to be a permanent cast. Superplex saying you the glitter bomb gals are great. Lance is throwing tons of flowers your way. Superfan Emily Miller says, Dave, you're the only one I watch live on YouTube. Usually stay on TikTok or Twitter. Well, thank you for venturing over to the YouTube to do that, Emily. You know how much I appreciate you as a community member. The Josh Singh says, love you all. So lots of love and lots of likes already on the live stream. Thanks to everybody who has taken a moment to like the live stream. Truly appreciate it. Thanks for the reminder, Daryl. Let me throw a little reminder to everyone.
Hey folks, if you're enjoying this live stream, be like the Fonz and give it a thumbs up. Hey.
Fonzie jumping the shark.
Fonzie jumping the shark. I loved that episode when it was on. I watched it live Tuesday night. ABC, watched that episode, multi-parter, by the way, with Laurette Spang from Battlestar Galactica on that episode. And did not realize how horrible Happy Days would eventually become, and what jumping the shark meant.
Right?
A lot of people found that episode to be offensive.
Why is that? Oh, offensive. Yes.
Offensive. Offensive.
Wow.
Oh, the shark.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was offensive. Well, offensive.
Ooh, touche.
Hey, we've got Steve Tivis in the community with us as well. Glad you're here, Steve. I think I pulled your latest thumbnail too. He's got a fun video out there. It's the life and sad ending of Lon Chaney Jr. So perfect for this time of year. And there with Lon Chaney Jr. is two of my favorite comic artists or actors of all time, Abbott and Costello. But great video, Steve. Thanks for joining us this evening. Let's see. So let's keep a rolling because we are definitely this has the potential to be the longest Good Stuff live stream ever. We'll see how we do.
Because we're having fun.
Because we're having fun. Absolutely.
I'm having a good time.
Good time. Like Steve said, it's a party. All right. Who are we up to? It's Pat. We're back to you, right?
Pat.
Which actor? This is another question from Justin Aylett. He said, which actor never made an appearance on the show? Is it Andy Griffith, Dick Van Dyke, Leslie Nielsen, or Peter Graves? Brother of James Arness, by the way. Peter Graves, brother of James Arness.
Peter Graves is. Oh, I never knew that.
I know they don't really look like they would be brothers, but they're both taller. But Arness is much taller than Peter, I think.
You hear them talk, and it's like, yeah, those guys are brothers. They
Okay.
definitely got that same vocal mannerism that runs in a family.
All right. So, Pat, we'll give them about 5 more seconds. Then I'm going to let you let it fly if you think you know the answer. So, lots of good responses in the chat. Folks are just kind of relying from memory, and that's what you need to do on this one. I think it's in most cases this one is one you can answer if you watch the show with any sort of regularity. What do you think, Pat?
Well, I didn't. So this is the process of elimination, and I'm going to say Andy Griffith.
And you are correct. Nicely done. Boy, that would have been cool. Andy on the Golden Girls. I would have loved to have seen that. You know what? Here's what I would have. That's the man for Dorothy. Andy
Matlock?
Griffith. Yes, Ben Matlock. Well,
I don't know.
no, Andy Griffith. I'm thinking a more aged and wizened Andy Taylor might be the man for Dorothy. Kind and wise.
I don't know. I feel like he would have been better for Rose.
Ooh,
right?
I don't know if Andy could have. Now, it depends on if we're talking about season 1 through 5 Andy or Grumpy Andy when the show went color. I don't know. I don't know if he would have. Grumpy Andy in the colorized episodes, he would not have had the patience for Rose. But maybe seasons 1 through 5.
Matlock would.
Oh,
like
Ben
I'm thinking Matlock. Andy Griffith, right?
That's completely different.
With his like play suits and stuff. Like he was, he was like a small town, folksy and all that. I think he and Rose would have gotten along real well.
She would have. I'm there with on Ben Matlock.
Yeah, I could see Peter Graves in Airplane being good for Rue, right?
Oh yeah, they would be perfect. They would have been perfect.
Have you ever seen a Gladiator movie? I think that would be funny.
Come on, Timmy.
What's our vector, Victor? Roger. Huh?
All right. Which show's not a spinoff, Amy? Is it Amen, Empty Nest, Golden Palace, or Nurses?
I'm gonna say Nurses.
Wait.
Oh.
It's lock in your answers, people.
Never coming back.
I don't know though. I don't know. I'm honestly, I just don't remember seeing anything called Nurses. I'm not sure about Amen.
Okay.
I know Empty Nest.
I like that you're thinking through it.
The neighbor. Empty Nest was the neighbor.
Yeah, Richard Mulligan.
Dinah Manoff.
And Kirsty McNichol.
And then Golden Palace we spoke of. Amen. Maybe it's the other neighbor. I'm gonna say Nurses, everybody.
Okay, she's gonna say Nurses.
Oh,
and the correct answer is Amen.
Well, what do I know? What do I know, guys?
Nurses, here's the thing. I had to look that one up because I only vaguely remembered, but it ran for 3 seasons on NBC.
Really,
and I
remember
still
this
only have
at
a
all.
vague memory of it.
I
have no memory of this.
Yeah, I don't remember Amen at all.
Oh, that's Sherman Hemsley.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I but you know what? I don't ever remember watching it. I remember being aware of it.
I didn't watch it either. Yeah,
So
but
wait,
that one ran for like 5 or 6 seasons. It was incredibly popular, just not with me.
Wow. Huh.
What
All
do
right.
I know, guys.
All right, so that was question number 8. Let me look at some scores real quick here, and then we'll just go all the way to the end. Superfan James Mitchell's 8 of 8, just rocking it tonight. Be Ready's 5 of 8. John Elgren's 7 of 8. John H is 7 of 8. Superfan Superplex is 7 of 8. Gerald Johnston's 4 of 8. Terrell, another just night for Terrell, just rocking it, 8 of 8. Marcus Smith's 4 of 7. TJ921 Abel, have a great night. Thanks for joining us. Thank you for joining us. Great to have you here. Jill Carter, Superfan, 7 of 8. TJ921 Abel, 6 of 8. Faith Castillo says her husband watches. Amen. So there you go. yeah, there's a show for everyone. That's what I love about TV. There's a show for everyone. Superfan Emily Miller, 7 of 8. John Stemmer was 8 of 8. Karen Lester was 7 of 8. Dolph Quick, 8 of 8. What? That's crazy. Nice job, Dolph. Superfan Michael Cole, 7 of 8. Cindy D, 8 for 8. Carl Smith, 6 of 8. And John Collins just rocking it tonight, 8 of 8. And Superfan Lance Chafin, 6 of 8. Kenneth Wilkinson, 4 of 8. I'm just going to scroll through a few more. I think that's about it anyway. So let's keep moving. Last 2.
All right.
Okay, here we go. Which characters are related? Blanche and Rose, Blanche and Sophia, Dorothy and Rose, Dorothy and Sophia. So let's wait a second. Folks, it's a fairly easy question. So, Lance
really
points. Yeah, really easy. Superfan Lance Chafin points out, going back to our conversation about Empty Nest and Christy McNichol, that Christy was in the pirate movie. Does anybody remember this amazing, amazing movie from 1980 that starred Christy McNichol and Christopher Atkins?
Yes. Oh, yes.
The pirate movie with Christopher Atkins and Christy McNichol?
Yes. Oh.
It's loosely based on the Pirates of the Penzance. Loosely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Very loosely based, but there's actually 2 or 3 songs from the original opera in it.
Does Christy sing?
Yes, she does.
She has her own number.
Oh yeah, she sings, and it's pop music mostly, along with these other songs that are shoehorned in there. And it was one of my wife's favorite shows, and so she got me to watch it when we were dating, I think, because prior to that I had not watched it. And I have to say, I love the music in it, particularly not the actual Pirates of Penzance songs, which are fine. But the music was written by, I don't know, Terry Britton, I think is the guy's name. He did a lot of writing for when Tina Turner made her comeback. I think he's part of a band called Heaven 17. But the pop music songs that are in that album or in that movie are great. And the movie is kind of slapped together, but it's still fun. It's a fun show.
Okay, I just looked it up so that I could get like a visual, and I'm looking at the movie poster, and folks, I have zero recollection of this. And you know what? For me to say that I don't remember a 1981 to whatever it was movie that was like a pop culture thing, it's shocking. Like I'm shocked. Where was I? What happened? What was I doing that year that I did not know about?
It was death in the box office.
It was. It died a quick and ignoble death.
Yeah, but that's never mattered to me. Like one of my favorite movies of all time is The Legend of the Lone Ranger.
Oh,
which
fine film.
That was in the movie theater for like 5 minutes, and everyone lambasted it. And
that's where they dubbed in the main actor's voice.
Yes. James Keach dubbed Clinton Spilsbury's voice, but I heard, I know way too much about that movie, okay? But I heard that the reason was actually just because Clinton Spilsbury didn't want to do the looping, because they shoot a movie and then the actor has to go back and they redub all the dialogue and match it. And he just had a very bad experience from what I've read on that film. And it was just an unfortunate whole thing for him and the people involved. And he got in some bar fights on the shooting location and stuff. And yeah, it was the poor guy. I who knows what. I thought he made a fantastic Lone Ranger. I made my mother drive me to the movie theater every Sunday to go see that movie.
Wow.
It was up for like 4 weeks. I saw it 4 times. But
that's
yeah,
what it was with me with Flash Gordon. Mom had to drive me to the movie theater multiple times so that I could just enjoy that movie over.
Yeah, that's another one that it's a flawed film, aren't they all?
Sure.
Aren't we all flawed people, right?
Yeah.
But I loved Flash Gordon. That was a great
movie
fun.
And wonderful soundtrack. Again, just love it. I thought you were going to say Robbie and Xanadu, but that's a conversation for another time.
Oh no, Xanadu's another one. Hey, wait, Ian, Did
Yes.
you say that that Dave was the one who said Xanadu was so bad that it was good? Or
It's a guilty pleasure of mine. I love Xanadu.
oh, okay. Because Xanadu, like I get in bar fights about Xanadu. Okay, I love Xanadu. I just think it's spectacular.
I've even gone seen the play. I mean, I love it that much.
Well, how was the
Full
play?
disclosure, I must point out, I did mention at one time that was the movie that destroyed Michael Beck's career.
Well,
yeah,
no,
but
okay,
wasn't there like another post-apocalyptic movie? Was that after Xanadu?
Yes,
no,
that was after Xanadu. That was Megaforce, and that was the final nail in his
Oh yeah, he
coffin.
was in Megaforce, but he was in another bad post-apocalyptic movie as well. I can't remember the name of it right
He
now.
made a lot of bad career choices, but the story goes is that he did the Warriors, and this is what he said: I did the Warriors, and it opened a bunch of doors, and then I did Xanadu, and it closed them all. And that's just what he said.
Warriors. Yeah, but okay, I have to defend the movie. You know, I think Michael Beck, all due respect to him, has a bit of a limited range. You know, he's
Yeah.
not Johnny Depp or Jack Nicholson or somebody, right? Like you know, he has a certain thing, and I think he sort of hit his nadir in Warriors, and I don't know, he was fine in Xanadu, but I would venture to say that maybe, you know, his career was somewhat limited anyway, you know? Like
I do have one thing I've always noticed about the movie. It seemed to me, and please correct me if I'm wrong, it seemed to me like it couldn't make up its mind whether it wanted to be an homage to the old like 1930s and 40s musicals or a very modern, cutting-edge entertainment.
well, yeah, I agree. I think that was their mistake, right? Is that they tried to be both. And
Yeah.
and that's
Yes.
why I mean, to me it works because I don't know, I'm weird, but the movie itself, I think it just kind of they couldn't really get that whole juxtaposition going. But man, Gene Kelly roller skates, come on.
That's great. That's
Right?
great.
It's the greatest thing ever.
I love Jeff Lynne's soundtrack. Jeff Lynne did an
Yeah.
outstanding job with the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, both the ELO songs and the Olivia Newton-John songs are great in that one. And Thrash, lower down your microphone just a little bit. We're not catching you all the goodness of the rich, you know, just the dulcet tones
How's
of your
that?
voice. So much better.
Okay.
But I love the soundtrack. But we are here. We got chastised earlier. Elf Dog 100, one of the super fans, said, "Get back to the quiz, Dave. Get back to the quiz." So we will.
Sorry,
get back
Elf
to the
Dog.
quiz. But Xanadu, topic for another day. Love that movie for so many different reasons. And I will say this, Bob, whatever movie came after Warriors was going to be the end of Michael Beck's career, because he just, to your point, you said it so nicely, Robbie, but he's not a good actor. The Warriors, you know, there wasn't a lot. He could look sullen and didn't have to say much in that movie. Just run around and avoid the guys with the baseball bats. But, you know, he, as Sonny, that was beyond his acting ability to pull that one off.
Yeah, I agree. I don't want to be mean, right? Like
Yeah,
we
no.
totally hate to be mean. But
No, there's no
yeah.
point.
Oh, Aim, who's that? Who was that, Birdie? Oh,
Did we have a guest? Did we have a guest for a minute?
Amy's cat was in the.
Oh. All right, where were we? Whose turn was it? I noticed that the order got changed. Yeah.
It was my turn, and I have the answer.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay, Dorothy and Sophia.
Yeah.
Cha-ching.
Not a tough one. Not a tough one. But glad you were there to answer it. Get it right for us, Robbie Ann.
Yeah, well, to be fair, it was an easy one, right?
Yeah, that was probably the easiest one of the bunch, I think.
Yeah.
But and this one's pretty easy too. I feel like it is. We've even talked about it, and I've known that there's been conversation about it in the chat. But what dessert did the ladies consume whenever they needed to talk something out or they had a problem? Was it? And Ian, this will be yours. You're going to bring us home, my friend.
All
Was
right.
it cake, cheesecake, cookies, or pie? And let's just give folks a second to lock in their answers.
Wait, there were no pot brownies? I thought for sure.
Hot brownies.
They came from Maui.
No.
Oh no, that was Barney Miller. Sorry, wrong show.
Those were hash.
Oh well.
Justin says it's Atkins strawberries and whipped cream. No. Okay, let's see here. All right, Ian, what's the answer?
It was cheesecake.
Which
From the
B. Arthur,
Cheesecake Factory. No,
which
I'm
B.
kidding.
Arthur did not even like, by the
No.
way. She's not a cheesecake woman. All right, folks, give me your final scores. Let's get them posted here on the screen. Let's see if I can scroll down. Danny Staten got 10 out of 10. Nicely done. Terrell was 9 of 9. Come on, were you 9 of 9 or 10 of 10? Either way, it's a perfect score. Terrell. Brent Howell was 10 of 10. Lots of scores coming in. Let me see if I can capture all these. Be Ready, 7 of 10. Superfan Superplex was 9 of 10. John Ogren, 9 of 10. Be Ready says pot cheesecake. I wonder what that would not be good. Terrell was 10 of 10. Kenneth, 6 of 10. John Stem,
I don't know.
10 of 10. You'd have to.
I could see it on the Food Network. You know what I mean? I could see
10 for
it.
10. Cindy
I'll let
D.
you know.
Jill, Superfan Jill Carter, 9 of 10.
It's legal in Massachusetts now.
Yes, it
It
is.
could be a whole thing. It could be a whole show, Cooking with Pot.
Not on this channel. Not on this channel. Superfan Emily
In
Miller,
the
9
pot.
of 10.
Better let me host.
Michael K. Cole, 9 of 10. Elf Dog 100, 8 of 10. Good job. Thanks for hustling us along, too. It's good that we're going to keep this under 2 hours. I think we'll do it. John
Maybe.
Collins says he was 11 of 11 because the main 3 were related at the end of the show. Okay.
John, you're the man.
Yeah, Lamont Bradford, 8 of 10. Faith Castillo, 9 of 10. Danny, 10. John H., 8 of 10 or 9 of 10. Let's give yourself 9 of 10. You know, if there's ever a question, I say round up. Spike Spikerson was 74%, 80% of the time. Nicely done. I'm not going to do the math, but I'd say you did pretty well tonight. Raja, 1938, 9 of 10. Marcus Smith, 5 of 10. James Mitchell, 10 of 10. Super fan James Mitchell. That's why you are a super fan. He'd like his cookie to be chocolate chip. Daryl Johnson, 5 of 10. I see a couple more 9 of 10s here. James Rice, 10 of 10. Super fan Lance Chafin, 9 of 10. Van Pasterman, 8 of 9. Carl Smith missed 3 of 10, so that makes him 7 of 10. Look at how I did that math. I'm so good at math. 9 of 10 for Lance Chafin. Carol Lester, 9 of 10. I think that's about it. All right. Let me click off of here. Dolph Quick says, Pop Brownies. What show were you watching, Pat? What show were you watching?
Every show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying.
Brownies.
They're all
interesting in that case.
Have you watched
Oh, that's
Golden
good.
Girls
Oh, that's
on
good.
Wii?
Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good.
Remember
Daryl Johnston says he's still not happy about the trick question. Which one was the trick question? Remind me. What trick question was in there? Where did
What first lady was Rue McCallahan's voice based on?
Oh, that was kind of tricky. Yeah. I don't blame you for not being happy about that.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. Let's get rid of that. Let's bring everybody full screen, well, as much as we can. Here we go. Awesome. What a wonderful evening. So, you know what I love to do, I've mentioned this before, but I love going back and watching my own live streams, not because I particularly enjoy listening to myself, but I love this community. And I love going back and, you know, there's just so many things that are said in the chat that I miss, so many funny comments and just the interaction, not necessarily directed towards us as the folks that are the talking heads on the show, but just in amongst themselves in the community. It's a lot of fun to go back and read the chat. So I look forward to doing that. And I thank every community member who made this live stream so wonderful tonight. It was fun. Oh, trick question was Andrew Gold. At least that's what someone else is pointing out.
Oh, that's right.
That was
I forgot.
kind of a trick question because
I was the victim of it.
Yeah,
Yes.
you were the victim. You and your hubris, Bob. You and your hubris.
Humorous.
anyway,
But didn't Andrew Gold sing it? Didn't they use his original recording like at
I could have
first?
sworn on some
In-
occasions they did. I could
in
have
the
sworn.
first season?
it wasn't on the pilot episode, Robbie, and I just watched that last night, and it was definitely a female singer. So it's got to be
Anyone
Cynthia
would have
Fee.
been better.
But could they have replaced? Could they have replaced it?
Mm.
Right? Like
wish
maybe
they
the
had.
original was.
Here's
I'm gonna look this up. Okay.
You should look
Oh.
this up, and here's what I'm going to do in the interim. Anybody that missed that question with Andrew Gold, including us, go back and give yourself the point.
Very
the
sporting
kind
of you, boss.
That's the kind of wonderful quiz master that I am. Bonus points. Anybody that say Andrew Gold, go ahead, count it. Because I vaguely recall hearing Andrew Gold sing it too, but I just can't remember if that's just me, kind of doing a whole Mandela effect
It was
thing on
definitely a
myself.
lady singing it, though. It was definitely
Yeah, it was a lady.
Cynthia
That's right.
Fee.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But he had
so
a hit
I
with
don't know.
Maybe on the box set.
Maybe.
Maybe you did a cover on the box set,
Yeah. And you
Maybe
just
in
never
an
know.
alternate universe.
To Robbie Ann's point, it's like later on when these shows are in syndication, they change all sorts of things up with the music. WKRP is one of the biggest victims of that because they just can't show, they can't play all the music that they played originally on the show because of all these crazy licensing deals. Musicians, I you know what? I love them and I hate them because they're always worried.
I know. Yeah, you and me both.
I mostly love them. I mostly love them.
I guess I should go now.
Yeah. These musicians, we hate them. I was like, what?
Well, but in fairness, it's not always the musicians; it's their publisher.
It's the publishing,
right?
company.
And the lawyers and managers.
All the publisher and the lawyers. Musicians
Right.
just want to get it out there, man.
Right.
Play my song. So yeah, that definitely was not it.
Yeah, I mean, I know.
was
I
gonna
know
say-
that Cynthia. What's her name? Cynthia Fee.
Cynthia Fee.
Yeah. She sang it. For at least the second season on. But, geez, I could have sworn that they used the original one. I'll have to dig it out though, because that's my favorite thing is digging out theme song minutia.
Love it. Can't wait to find out later on if Andrew Gold ever did actually sing on the show, because I vaguely recall that as well, but maybe it's just I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
anytime you want to torture me with that one, Dave, it's all yours, baby.
Yeah, I would love to. You and I were chatting earlier. I just got to figure out a way to, again, getting back to the whole. The minute I play something that is the YouTube bots pick up as a deserving of going to sending all and not that these live streams make a ton of money, but I don't want to send anything that it might earn to Andrew Gold or his publishing company, so I got to be careful.
Well, he's dead, so it doesn't really matter.
I was going to say he's not with us anymore.
But someone will want it. Someone will want it. Anyway, thank you to the community. You guys are awesome. Love you all. And thank you to each one of you. What a great group of guests tonight. Thanks for joining, Pat. Love having you on. Thanks for all you do. And really, folks, if you haven't subscribed to not the Golden Rage of TV, but Golden Rage of TV on YouTube, you gots to do it. There's no one on YouTube that can pack in the information in a minute to a minute and a half like Mr. Pat McCormick. So not only is he a talented musician and Amy and Robbie Ann, former star of General Hospital, but he's also an amazing YouTube personality. You got to check out his channel, and folks, subscribe to it if you haven't. Amy, Robbie Ann, thank you so much for joining. I am a huge fan of the podcast. I listen to, you're one of my, I do this with Ian's long form podcasts as well. You guys are what I listen to when I go to sleep at night, and
We are honored.
Ian usually puts me to sleep about the 20-minute mark, but I've been laughing too darn hard at your podcast recently. It's keeping me up the full hour. So I might have to move your podcast over to Lawn Mowing Podcast. That's
okay.
Or some other
take it.
chore, because it's not doing its job. I'm laughing too darn much on it. So You've got it. Folks can go out to to YouTube, of course, and catch the podcast that way, or they can use whatever podcatcher they like to catch it and have it on the go. And that's the beautiful thing about podcasts. So subscribe. I'd say subscribe on YouTube, and then whether it's Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts or something else, why not throw it on there so you have something if you want to listen to something on the road.
Yep, and we have a website too. It's the glitterboomgirls.com. So you can go to that and listen to the podcast or find our links and everything.
I think I've been saying bomb at least half the time. I shouldn't be. Sorry. Glitter Boom Girls.
Yeah.
BOOM.
But they are the bomb.
They are the bomb. That's my
Glitter Boom
thing.
is the bomb.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, we've had
Awesome.
so much fun. My gosh, thank you.
Yeah.
Right, Aim?
Thanks
I
for
had such a great
joining.
time. Thank you for having us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Anytime. You'll get the invite. Feel free to ignore it, but anytime you want to join, we will be tickled to have you.
Yeah, and thank you to everybody for accepting us here into the group. I feel like this is like, a special club, right? And we're kind of we're
Members.
like we have a guest pass, into the club.
Right.
It was
Yeah.
wonderful having you with us.
Yeah, you're
tonight.
quickly earning your wings, and guest pass are no longer.
We're all in.
Yeah, we are all in. Ian, love the
Yes.
Belvedere stuff. I think your 5 Things series idea is phenomenal, folks. If you gotta subscribe to Retro
Pat.
Serial.
Oh yeah, please do. Me and Pat are gonna start our own hair band, retrospect hair band. I'm gonna be the singer. He's gonna be the guitarist. You're looking for a bassist and drummer. We're gonna call it Wet Leather or something like that. I don't know, some '80s cheesy band name. It's gonna be great.
I was thinking Sticky Leather, but it's they kind of go hand in hand. So
Right, we're doing this
I'll go
little
with
side
Wet Leather.
project on the side. Yeah. You lay down the tracks. You send them to me. I'll come up with some lyrics and sing over them.
it's a deal.
Okay.
Love it. Thrash, I've enjoyed the jokes. I've enjoyed the turkeys, but when are we going to get some more like reviews of books or movies like you used to do?
You know what? I've been putting together some of the Nightingale. I've been putting together some of those. I've just been getting like so much positive feedback with the silly Michigots that I've kind of been running with it. But I've done a few books. I've done a few things I've found on YouTube, which I think bear people having them pointed out. So I'm going to start doing some reviews of short films I found on YouTube. And of course, you can always find me with Ian. Tomorrow, fingers crossed, we're going to be doing The Way of the Warrior book movie comparison. But you know what? Just for you, Dave, I'm going to put together something this week. I'm going to put together a review. I won't tell you what it is. I'll surprise you, but I'll have it up by the end of this week.
Can't wait. All right. Thanks again, everybody. We've done it. This is a world record for my live stream, 1 hour and 52 minutes. Thanks so much for joining. Thanks again to the community, and I hope everybody has a great night. Good night.
Take care, Dave. Night.